Yeah, there's only one person who wins in this whole situation here, and it's the lawyers.
For sure.
I did some research. I did some research in it, and home sellers, you may choose to ban into this, and there's a bunch of postcards being mailed out to people who sold homes since 2008, but the reality is when you do the historical breakdown on class action lawsuits, the amount of money that's paid to the lawyers who represent them is normally between the range of 33 and 40%. So let's just take the Sitzer Burnett trial or case, for example.
Yeah.
And let's just say the payout was $1 billion. A whopping $1 billion. The attorneys, if given 40%, would make $400 million. Now, that's the pot calling the kettle black. See, they're coming after real estate agents, the National Association of Realtors, and everyone in the real estate industry saying that there was collusion that was going on. But it's the furthest thing from the truth. Real estate agents were never a part of any collusion. They never would be a part of any collusion. The most successful real estate agents are predominantly type A, very competitive. They may be Sigma type people who would cut another agent's throat before they collude with them.
Oh, no. Real estate agents are not friends, ladies and gentlemen. Out there, listen, the only person in real estate I mostly trust is Josh, because we've been working together for so long. But at the end of the day, too, I know my good friend is going to do what's in his best interest, too. So it's okay. And I understand that and I realize that. But real estate agents in general will outcompete each other for a listing, for a buyer, for a flip on a house when we try to, get investment properties. It's just what it is. It's just hyper competitive, and nobody are friends.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
In fact, it's awkward. It's awkward when you walk into
a bunch of us in a room
of real estate agents, because everybody
looks at each other like gunslingers.
Yeah, everybody's very competitive.
Yeah.
So for the lawyers who are involved to perpetrate the lie that there was some type of collusion that was going on, it's false, ladies and gentlemen. And
we don't collude for shit.
The only people who are losing in this situation is everyone else.
Yeah.
And we're going to break all that down as we get further into this podcast. But let me make it clear right now, the only people who lose in this situation is everyone but the attorneys who are prosecuting these cases.
Yeah, they're just being opportunists, as lawyers do. That's what they do. In my experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Legal talk.
So let's talk about recently there was a court case that was settled along the same pretenses as the Sitzer Burnett case. Mm-hmm. And a Boston judge agreed to a settlement in which a $3 million payout was given. Less than 24 hours after that case was closed, the DOJ's antitrust division said, hey, we're going to reopen this. We don't believe that the settlement will prevent further incidences. My opinion on all of this is this right here. This is the result of being in a seller's market for way too long.
Way too long.
I can remember in 2017,
this wouldn't be discussion if there's a buyer's market.
18, 2019, sellers were giving buyers agents thousands of dollars.
Not just that. It's like, you want a new HVAC system? Whatever you want. Just buy my house.
They were paying so much more to sell their houses in 2017, 18, 19 that these postcards that these attorneys are sending out in the mail that are fighting for commissions don't even compare. I've negotiated for sellers to pay a buyer's car payment, pay their car completely off, buy out their early termination of leases to sell their houses.
Oh, yeah.
So how is it that in everything that sellers were doing to sell their houses prior to this seller's market of 2020 and the COVID epidemic, how was all of that forgotten?
Oh, it'll come back around.
Yeah,
Watch.
How,
It'll come back
how
around.
is all of that forgotten? And the only thing that these attorneys are targeting are the commissions that were paid, because I got cars paid off. $12,000 on your car, no problem. Here you go. We'll pay that off as part of debt reduction underneath the VA home loan. I've had that done. I've done that for my clients. And I was a buyer's agent.
Yeah, but I think what they're trying to argue here is that you did all that for a client, but then at the end of the day, the seller has to pay you to do all that to them.
Doesn't matter. It's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
That's what this is. You want to sell your house, there's a cost to do business.
Yeah.
You want to play in this marketplace, there's a cost to do business.
Well, I know what some will say, like, well, I'll just sell this myself. I'll just put it on.
Yeah, there's plenty of FISBOs every day who try to sell houses themselves, and they're not so successful. The average days on market for them is 41, and at day 42, they're calling a real estate agent in order to come list their property, because they realize that it's not as easy as they thought it was going to be. If it was as simple as putting a house on an MLS or putting it on Zillow, and it was just going to sell, it was going to magically sell itself, then there would be nobody who would be using agents. Everyone would be a FISBO.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, though.
No. There's a lot to this process. We're going to break more of it down.
And most FISBOs, by the way, offer a buyer's agent commission.
Yeah, no.
So
They all
literally, the people who aren't paying commissions to listing agents are willing to
don't
pay.
want it as a listing agent.
Yeah, they're willing to pay a commission to the buyer's agent, but they don't want to pay it to the listing agent. So why are buyer agent commissions under attack?
They just think that it's not right for the seller to pay the buyer agent commission. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's more beyond that. I think there's a multi-billion dollar, what is it, $40-60 billion a year industry?
It's way more than that. In our MLS alone,
People
we
just
do
want a piece of the
somewhere
pie
in the
of that.
neighborhood
That's what
of
it is,
5
this
to 6
lawsuit.
billion. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. The only person who's going to lose in this situation is those home sellers who feel that they don't want to offer a commission. Because here's the thing. You got builders out there right now who are doing 4% commissions to buyer agents. They're offering several incentives for them. There's some that are offering a $15,000 raffle for the next 12 agents who sell their new construction houses.
Yeah.
There are several investors who rehab houses with the understanding that they're going to pay a buyer agent a commission. And you know why? Because they understand the value of what a buyer agent brings to the table.
Well, I'll tell you what, as investors right now, we'll still offer a buyer agent commission when we list our property.
1,000%.
You want to know why? Because if you're, and again, we're agents, got it. But you know, if we were not agents and we were to hire a listing agent, we're just hiring that agent to sell the house. But if we offer a buyer agent commission, I'm hiring every motherfucking agent on the MLS to bring me a motherfucking buyer. Multiple offers, preferably.
That's right. And for sellers who are trying to sell, just like investors are trying to sell for profit, just like builders are trying to sell for profit, every one of us, investors and builders, understand there's a cost of doing business.
Yeah. It's already factored in.
Goes back to what I said earlier. If you want to be a seller and you want to say, hey, I'm not going to pay a buyer agent a commission, good luck.
Good luck.
You are the opposite of a FISBO. And listen, your agent who's telling you, your agent that told you, oh, I'm going to be able to sell your house, they just lied to you. They need every other agent in the MLS to sell your house. At the end of the day, the listing agent actually does the least amount of work.
I would agree with that. And actually, if I was a listing agent and they were going to after zero on the buyer agent commission side and I had to bring the buyer, this is what I would tell a seller. Okay, great. You know, normally what we do is we have open houses on the weekends. Well, I got to showcase this house and get it sold. So what we're going to do is I need to have an open house Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So when you get home from work at 4 o'clock, I need you out of the house. So basically, when you get home from work, you got to get the dog, the kids, and everything out of the house, skip dinner, go hang out in the park somewhere, go, I don't know, go out to dinner somewhere, and wait every day until I can get a buyer who doesn't have an agent so I can write an offer for them, for you, so that I can sell your house. That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many levels of this that's not being talked about, and the sellers, they're the ones who are the most least informed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Those people who think they're going to list their house with a 0% buyer agent commission and they're going to sell it, or their agent is going to sell it, they're sadly mistaken. It's not going to happen. Their house is going to sit on the market a lot longer, and in the end, when it's on the market 90 days, 120 days, you've lost money just because you keep paying a mortgage payment on that house every month that it doesn't sell.
Not only that, the agent's he's gonna tell you if it's been on the market over 30 days, they're gonna say, "Hey,
you need to
Mr.
drop the price.
You need to drop the price."
Yeah, but
Nobody
guess what?
wants to buy it at this price.
Dropping the price isn't the answer.
They ain't gonna do shit because there's no agents out there with buyers.
Listen, if you're a seller out there and you decided to listen to your real estate agent who said, "Hey, go ahead, list this with 0% commission, we'll get it sold,"
fire them.
And
Fire them
listen,
immediately.
and you're not getting any showings, and no one's asking to see your house, there's a very good reason why no one's seeing your house. It's because your commission that you're offering is not high enough.